Good morning, everyone. So let's get started. We have talked about some first order logic. There are few more things which are remaining there, but we are skipping that for a while. Maybe we will take that as an extra lecture sometime. But now we are moving to some new topic, which is binary relations. So today and tomorrow we'll be mostly focusing on relations. Right? These are so so far in the course we have already seen some different type of different examples of relationship, right? So for example, A is a subset of B, or X is less than Y, or Y is less than X, or X is less or equal to Y. And what is this guy? X minus Y is divisible to K, right? X minus Y is divisible to K, and you also read it, X is K congruence to Y, right? So this is like that. X and you write it as three lines and then K. So it denotes that X minus Y is divisible by K. Okay. So an example could be like let's say 10 is 2 congruent to 8, right? So 10 minus 8 is divisible to 2. So 10 is 2 congruent to 8. This is called congruence relationship. Between people, you all know P loves Q, P is a friend of Q, all these are relationships. Since these relations focus on connections between two objects, and therefore they are called binary relations. Of course, there can be other forms of relations as well, as some of you might be doing databases courses and in the future where there are like ternary relationships, but that's beyond the scope of this course. For this particular course, we are only interested in binary relations, and that means you have two objects to compare with, right? So this is kind of a compare, or some kind. It may not be always compare. It's compare is one example of relationship, but it's like you have two objects given, and then you find out how they are related. The binary here means pertaining to two objects, and binary does not mean it has nothing to do with zeros and ones in this particular thing, right? So binary relationships, when we say that has nothing to do with 0 and 1. So what exactly is binary relations? So a relation, binary relation over a set, right? So this is always defined over a set. A is a predicate. Now this is a thing, right? So it is a predicate. We have seen first order logic where we have seen predicate. Predicate always deals with two objects. So it's a predicate R that can be applied to pairs of elements drawn from A. So you have you take any two elements of A, right? And you can apply R onto it. Like for example, each friend, and let's say we are talking about BTech second year student. So BTech second year student will be the set of that will be my set, the A, and any two student I can apply the relationship is friend of B. So it may be true or may not be true, but I can always take two pairs, two students, and check whether that A or B or not, right? So R is a binary relation over A, and it holds for for the pair AB. Then we say ARB, right? So for example, 3 is equal to 3, 5 is less than 7, pi is a subset of n, right? So these are the examples of ARB. What is A here? The left hand side is A, right hand side is B, and the middle one is R. So if R is a binary relation over A and it does not hold the pair AB, right? So if R is a binary relation which is over A, like as I said, each friend over your class, and it does not hold for the pair AB, then we write A is not related to B, and we cross this R like this, right? So A is not related to B. For example, 4 is not equal to 3. So 4 is not equal to 3, 4 is not less than 3, N is not a subset of 5. Okay? So this is either so R and not R. So properties of relations, generally speaking, if R is a binary relation over a set, the order of the operands is significant, right? So the order is significant. Means it's a ordered thing. It means this concept is ordered thing. It's not always true that you remove the order, it will be fine. Some cases it might be okay, like for example, equal to. If you are talking about equal to relationship, order does not really matter. But for in general, for any relationship, when you say A or B, that does not trivially means B or A, right? So A or B does not trivially means A, B or A, because that depends on the nature of R. For example, here 3 is less than 5. That does not mean 5 is less than 3, right? So if in some relations order is irrelevant, and more on that later we'll see. Relations are always defined related to some underlying set, right? So it's not the relations are always defined relative to some underlying set. It's not that you take any two things and start saying some relation exists or not. It's not meaningful to ask that a smiley is a subset of 15, right? So it's not, because this subset relationship is defined over sets, so not any arbitrary object, right? So these relationships are not like you just apply on any set. They are defined over particular sets, and then they're there, and only there they hold. How do you visualize a relationship? Very nice way of visualizing the relationships is using this graph notations, right? Where in this graph, right? So we have not discussed the graph in a detail, but intuitively, right? So you can all understand what graph is. So all the nodes represent the sets, elements of the set. So let's say my set is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I will draw a node for 1, I will draw a node for 2, I will draw a node for 3, and I will draw a node for 4. Now the relationships is denoted by an directed edge, a directed edge. So if there is a directed edge between node 2 and node 4, that means we can say 2 is related to 4, or 2 RB, right? 2 is related to 4. So in this example, what is the relation? Let's look into this a few of these examples, and then we will have a question. So the relation A divides B, right? A divides B over this set looks like this. So what does it mean? Whenever A will divide B, there will be an arrow from A to B. Right? So this order is very important. There will be an arrow from A to B, not B to A. So for example, 1 divides everything, right? So there will be an arrow from 1 to 1, it's a self loop, because 1 divides itself. 1 also divides 4, 1 also divides 3, 1 also divides 2. So there is an arrow from 1 to everything. And there is an arrow from 2 to 4 because 2 divides 4. But there is not an arrow from 2 to 3 because 2 does not divide 3. And there is a self loop in every one of them, because everyone itself, right? So A always divides A. So this is how the relationships can be visualized. And we'll say more example. Let's say my relationship is not equal to, right? So my relationship is not equal to, then this will be a fully connected graph, like, and there are double edges, right? 2 is not equal to 4, and 4 is also not equal to 2. But there is no self loop. Why there is no self loop? Because it's the same thing. You are like this 4 is equal to 4, 2, 3 is equal to 2, 3, right? So this is a notation. Another one, the relation A equal to B over sets 1, 2, 3, 4 will have this type of notation, where only A's will be self loop, no other things will be connected. Another one, this one, and there we are not showing what the relation is, but it is also some latent hidden binary relation, and it might be true, right? So we don't know the definition of this as of now, what is the rule, or why they are connected. But if you work hard, maybe you can really find some kind of a relationship which for which this is true. So any graph, right? Any graph, any direct graph you draw that will be corresponding to a relationship, binary relationship, and a directed. It should be the graph should be directed, and it should be containing the same nodes. So the nodes should be the members of the set. And if you draw this graph, it will always correspond to some relationship. Some of these relationships maybe we may be knowing, some of them we may not be knowing, but it will be some relationship which maybe either we know it or not, but it's a valid relationship. Okay, so now let's go to one quick question in the Slido. Very quick question. So let me present it first. No, let's do it. So this is A887 in the Slido. A887. Let's present over Slido then. Okay, so A887. The question will not come immediately. Okay, there is something. Okay, fine. Oh, sorry. So this is the question. So this relationship is given to you, right? So this pictorial notation of the relationship is given to you for this picture of a binary relation R over the set 1 to 8, right? So this is 1 to 8. Which of the following is correct definition of R? Very simple question. X R Y if X is 2 and Y is 3, X R Y if Y is X plus 2, R equal to R plus 2. Which one of these is true? So you just think about the solution quickly, and then we will move to next slide, and then we will be able to answer it. Right? So what is the answer? So I'll give you half a minute. Okay, now you can join the quiz and answer it. Okay, so we have another 60 seconds to answer it. Very quickly you can. I'm hoping that we will get a 100% correct response, at least for this toy question. Oh, still there are people who are making some mistake, but at least 94% of you are right, right? So it's very simple, right? So if you look into this, just that the connections are only when then you have y is x plus 2, right? Y is x plus 2. No other connection, and this is not the right way to represent anyway. Okay, so that's all. Let's look into the leaderboard. Okay, let's move to slide. No, slide so is not good. So now that we know that binary relations, we will talk something, a special type of binary relation, which is called equivalence relationships or equivalence relations. So this equivalence relation is pictorially shown here in the three part, right? The first part is saying that if you take A and A, if the relationship is like that, they are same. If A is related to B, that means B is also related to A. And third one is if A is related to B and B is related to C, then A is also related to C. If you have such a relationship, right? If you have such relationship, then you say that this is an equivalence relations. So equivalence relation, more mathematically, it is A is related to A is related to B, that implies B is related to A is related to B, and B is related to C, implies A related to C. Now it is even more formally you can do, because you will ask like what are these A's? So these A's are elements of the A, right? So we talked about relationships are always defined over a set. So this is for all A, this is true. This is for all A and all B, should be true, right? Wherever A or B is there, then B or A should be there. And this is again for all A, B, C, this should be true. I think instead of teaching this on slide, I will quickly go to my Jamboard and try to explain this. Let me share my screen. Stop. Just a minute. Anything on your screen? Can you see my screen? Give me a minute, okay? So I'm trying to connect from my iPad. So. Yeah. Okay. There is a question, what was meant by R equal to R plus 2? It doesn't really mean anything. Like in relationship, we don't talk like that. R is a relationship, right? So there is no plus operator defined anyway. So that was just incorrect option, right? Because R is not a something which you can add, right? So R is a relationship; it's not some number to add. So R equal to R plus 2 was wrong. We are talking about equivalence relationships, and it is called equivalence relationship. Okay. So what is equivalence relationship? It has to follow certain things. One is called reflexive property. Right? So a relationship R over set A is called equivalence relation if it follows following three properties. One of them is reflexive property. What is reflexive property? Reflexive property says that, so let's say for all A belonging to A, right? What you say is A is related to A. A must be related to A. Okay. Which among, can you give an example of this? Very simple example. 2 equal to 2, right? 3 equal to 3. So if your relationship is equal to, this is true. Yes. So is funny question. Is a friend of. Is this equivalence? Is this reflect? Does this relation follows reflexive property? No.
It depends how we define friend.
Yes. So yeah, these are some big things, not a mathematical thing, but just I was talking like, is a friend of, you can be your friend of yourself, but you may also be an enemy of yourself, right? So if you are into bad habits, maybe you are enemy of yourself. So yeah, just a thought of like just talking this, but it's not important for us. So the only thing you want to know is whether these two things are connected or not. But then there are examples, right, where things are not reflexive. For example, less than. Less than relationship is not reflexive, right? A number is not less than itself, right? So number 2 is not less than 2. Is wrong. So there are different type of relationships which can be either reflexive, and then we will see the second property. Or any other example? Maybe let's take one more example. So for example, A is a subset of A, right? This is subset relationship is also reflexive. Okay. You can think of many other examples. Next, let's look into. Okay, before we look into next example, how do you reflect? How do you represent? Find out if something is reflexive from the pictorial notation, reflexive from the pictorial representation. So we talked about the pictorial representation where we have a graph. How do you find this, whether this is reflexive or not? Anyone? Self loop. Yeah, self loops will be there on all the nodes, right? So then only it is reflexive. Other things doesn't really matter, but the self loop should be there if it is a reflexive, because the same things are and it should be there for all the nodes. Okay, next relationship, the next property. So next property is called symmetric. Okay. Next one. Sorry. Just a minute. Symmetric. Sorry. Next property of a relationship is called symmetric. So what is symmetric? Symmetric is for all A belonging to A and B belonging to B. A is related to R, A is related to B using R. That implies B is also related to A. Right? A is related to B, that implies B is also related to A. So question or example of this equal to, right? So if your equal to is the relationship, then you know that if A is equal to B, that implies B is also equal to A. So equal to is perfectly fine. What about less than? This is one example. Let's talk about another example, less than. It is not a perfect example of symmetricity because A is less than B. That does not imply B is less than A, right? So it is not a correct example of a symmetric relation. Any other correct example of symmetric relation? Let's look into, let's say, is the subset correct example of symmetric relation? No, right? Because if A is a subset of B, that does not imply B is also a subset of A. Right? It may be subset of A or it may not be. It will be subset of A only if they both are equal. If both are equal, then it is true, but otherwise it is not, right? So this is not, for all AB, it is not true. Uh, any other relationship which is symmetric? One of them is the modulo congruence, which we discussed. X is mod K congruence to Y. What does it mean? How do you read it? This means X minus Y is divisible by K, right? X minus Y is divisible by K. So K congruence to Y is also a symmetric relationship. So this is not a symmetric, but this is a symmetric relationship because X minus Y. Sorry?
A and B both should be in the same set.
Which should, oh, in the third example, A and B. Yeah. So here, don't confuse with this A. Sorry. Yeah. It's correct. It should be.
Sir, I'm talking about the definition of
Yeah.
symmetricity.
Correct. Yeah. Thanks for correcting. So yeah, that should be A because we are talking. Whenever we are talking about relationship, we talk about one set where we define. So it should be A. Yeah. Thanks for correcting. But this AB, don't confuse with that AB. These are any other random sets. Okay. And this one is X congruence to Y is also, you can imply Y is K congruence to X because X minus Y is divisible. That means Y minus X is also divisible. How do you represent this using graphical notation or using graph-based notation? So in the graph-based notation, I will ask a question here. Okay. Is this an example of symmetric relationship? Let's see the answer. Yes. Anyone with no? Yes. And why it is an example of symmetric relationship? Because whenever, right? So we said, if you remember the definition, whenever your AB belongs to A, for this, when your A is related to B, that implies B is related to A. Right? So if A is related to B, that implies B is related to A. So here, whenever there is a arrow from A to B, there is an arrow from B to A. But here there is no arrow from these two, right? So if it is, there is no arrow from, let's call 1 to 3. Then we do not have to check anything because this for 1, 3, if I take 1, 3, A equal to 1 and B equal to 3, right? I need to check this also because this is for all AB. This has to be true for all AB. Now let me check A equal to 1 and B equal to 3. Then ARB itself is a false. This itself is false, right? And if this itself is false implies true is true. So right, false implies true is not like true itself. So that means this example is a correct example for symmetric relationship. Now let's look into the third relationship, which is called transitive relationship. Okay, what is transitive relationship? We have a set A, right? So we have for all A, B, and C belonging to A. This is for all this, right? And the thing which needs to be true is if A is related to B, right? That implies B is related to A. So just a minute. It's not A is related to B and right. It's B and B is related to C. That implies A is related to C. Right? If A is related to B, B is related to C, then A is also related to C. Okay. So this is called transitive, right? Because there is a transition from A to B to C, A to C. Right? In general notion, for example, just to understand, each friend of may not be transitive, right? So India is friend of USA, and USA is friend of Pakistan, but that does not mean India and Pakistan are friends, right? So this is the each friend of cannot be the right example for a transitive relationship, but equal to, right? Example equal to is a right example of transitive relationship, because if a number is equal to its some number, then it's all everything is equal, right? So then you don't have to really check. uh, many other examples you can really think, right, in the transitive case. Okay, but we'll leave to that. We'll move to now how do you represent a transitive relationship in the graphical notation. In the graphical notation, it is like this. So if you have, let's say, A, B, C, D, there are different graphs. Let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If 1 is related to 4, 4 is related to 3, that means 1 is also related to 3, right? Similarly, if 1 is related to 5, 1 is related to 2, that also means 1 is related to 2. Right? So whenever there is a relationship from 1 to 5, 5 to 2, there is also relationship from 1 to 2. Right? So what does it mean is if 1 is related to 5 and 5 is related to 2, that implies 1 is related to. If that happens, you can say that this is also a transitive relation. We have seen the example like equal to is one of the transitive relation. There can be other transitive relations. We will prove some of these when we prove equivalence relations. Another way of representing these relations, so we have seen this graphical way of representing relation, but the another way of representing relation is actually like it's equivalent to the graphical representation, but you do cardinal. So you have A, right, which is the set of things where you are defining the relationship. Let's call it, let's say, 3 numbers. So you are defining the relationship between A over A. So all the relationships you have is defined over, let's say, this particular set. So if you look into that, you can actually pair it up like this. So you have 1, 2, and 3. You have 1, 2, and 3. Now everything you can pair it up, and some of them will exist, some of them will not exist, right? So this pairing up, what I am doing is called cardinal the product Cartesian product, right? Cartesian product of two sets. Cartesian product. So it also means that R is nothing but a Cartesian product of elements. So it will be like either 1, 1, maybe 1, 2, 1, 3, and maybe 2, 3, and maybe 3, 3. So this is one particular relation. How many relations you can define over this set. How many different relations you can define over R over A. What is the maximum size of definition? Everything is connected, right? So that will be 9. And any subset of that will be a valid relationship. Let's look into answer. Yeah. So what people are saying? N minus 2 n square. Yeah, so for this particular example, if you have 3 sets, right? So what will be the, like, you will have 9, actually, a set which contains 9 elements, will be the maximum possible set, and it will, the superset. Any subset of that will uh, also be a relation, right? So for what I'm trying to say is just following very simple thing. What I'm trying to say that any relation will be this R star, let's call it R star, which contains all the relationships possible. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, then you have 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, right? And 3 to 1, 3 to 2, and 3 to 3. It has cardinality how much? 9, right? So R star has a cardinality 9. So any subset of this, any subset of R star is a valid relationship. A valid relation over A, right? And how many subsets possible? 2 to the power 9. In general, that's the correct answer, and in general, it is 2 to the power n square. So these many relations are possible, right? So this is interesting. If you have class size of 100, this finite number of very high oppose, obviously, but finite number of relations can exist. Okay, so this is because any of the subset you take, it is a valid or invalid relationship. Time for a small quiz, not quiz, question, and then we will move to proving something, some lemma today. So just 2-3 minutes for this quiz. Okay, present with Slido. Let it be. Join the quiz.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell the code once again?
Which one?
Sir, code of Slido 887. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Slido code. Oh, yeah. I'll see. Just a minute. I'll tell. Yes, it's A887. Okay, and this is the question. By the way, I have not said equivalence relation, but equivalence relation is something which is reflexive, which is transitive, and which is symmetric. All the 3 properties we discussed, reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, is called equivalence relation. Now, these are the set of relations over a set, right? So the set contains, the set A contains 0, 1, 2. Set A contains 0, 1, 2, and over that set, it is defined, right? So which of these are equivalence relation? Take a time, because this may require some amount of computation for you guys, and then answer it. I'll give 2 more minutes. I think it may require some extra computation. So. One more minute. And just choose your answer so that you can directly answer in Slido after this. Choose your answer right now, and then you can directly answer. Okay, so now move to get ready. So people are already there, it seems. Yeah. Okay. Just answer this now. Okay. Oh. Okay, so people are making some mistake. Majority are doing good. 51% are correct. Let's see what is okay. That's good. Let's explain this for a while. Let me share my iPad again. Yeah, so if you look into the question, I will not answer everything, but simply at least I will explain what needs to be done and what needs to be checked there. So you have some 0, 1, 2 was your A, right? So your A was just 0, 1, and 2. Over this it was defined, and there were some sets given. So one easy way to check is you construct a graph out of it, right? So let's say I do the checking for the bigger one, that is D. So D example has this 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 1, and 0, 2, and 1, 0, and 1, 2, and 2, 1. Okay, so this was given to you. Now you can actually have a graph out of it. 0, 1, 2. 0, 0 means there is a self loop. 0, 1, 1, there is a self loop. 2, 2, there is a self loop. Okay. Now 0, 1, there is a 0, 1. Okay. 0, 2, there is 0, 2. 1, 0, there is this 1, 2, 1, 2, then 2, 1, and then there is no 2, 0 there. Yeah, there is, oh sorry, it is also contained 2, 0. That was there, so I missed 2, 0 and 2, 1. It was there in the question, so 2, 0 is also there. I can see this is like everything is connected, and if it is symmetric, you can see it is reflexive because self loops are there. It is symmetric because whenever there is 0 to 1, there is 1 to 0, right? So whenever there is A to B, there is B to A. So it is symmetric, and it is transitive because if there is a 0 to 2 and 2 to 1, then there is 0 to 1. It is transitive. So you can say that this is equivalence relation, one of these. But then was another question, another option was also correct. The another option was E. In that option, it was 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 2. Right? Why this is also correct? Because you see 0. This was a drawing of that. 0, 1, 2. This is obviously reflexive. This is also symmetric because there is nothing to check. Right? So the reflexive is only needs to be checked when there is A to B. Then we need to check that B to A should be there. But if there is no A to B, we don't have to check, and we trivially say that it's symmetric anyway. And the third one is transitive. Since there is no like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, again, we do not have to check because since the right hand side of the implication is already false, we do not really have to check the left hand side, and therefore this is also trivially true. So this is also equivalence. This is also equivalence. All other relationships in that example, if you look into, they are not following one or two properties of equivalence relations. So I will anyway share the video, and you can verify this. Those 49% people who have made mistake, they should definitely look into that video and make their verification whether this is clear or not. Why not option A? Okay, so there is a question, why not option A? So let's look into option A. Why not option A? So option A was 0, 0, 1, 1, and 0, 1, and 1, 0. This obviously is not reflexive, right? This is not reflexive. 0, 1, 2. So 0, 0, 1, 1. Then you have 0 to 1, and you have 1 to 0. This is not a reflexive because there is no self loop. So for being reflexive, you need to have self loop in all the nodes, right? So if you remember the condition for reflexive, what is the condition? The condition was for all A are A, right? This should be true for all A. No condition, no if, no but, right? This should be true for all A. But so this is not true. Others also, I guess you can definitely verify. Any question, anyone asking any doubt about other options, then we can also try to it. It can be 0. Yeah, set was not given in the question, but set I have verbally said no. Set A contains 0, 1, 2. If you are listening to my class, I verbally said that the A is 0, 1, 2. Yeah, also you can see that, but I verbally said as well. Anyway, so now let's move to, we already spent a lot of time, but we can quickly do one proof at least. So let's try to prove something. How do you prove something as an equivalence relation? So the statement is A or B, where R is defined over G, right? So the set of integers, R is defined over G, or set of integers, such that A or B, if just a minute, A plus B is even, okay. So we have a relationship R, which is defined over a set G, which is the set of integers. What we are saying is A is related to B whenever A plus B is even, right? A plus B is even. Then, if this is the relationship, then R is an equivalence relation. Okay, R is an equivalence relation. How do you prove it? First of all, we need to prove whether this is reflexive or not, right? So what we are saying is A is related to B whenever A plus B is even. So first, even before proving, let's have an understanding of the question itself or the statement itself, right? So what it is saying is, if the addition, so there will be, let's say I have nodes 0. Of course, this we will not able to draw all the nodes because it is infinite, but we are just drawing, let's say, 3 nodes. And for 3 nodes, we are trying to do this 4 nodes. For these 4 nodes, let's try to understand what how the graph will look like. Of course, for the whole problem statement, the graph will have infinite many nodes because it is G over G, right? So this is G. But for this particular, we can draw. How do we draw? So will 0 and 1 will be connected? Will there be a connection between 0 and 1? No, right? But will there be a connection between 0 and 2? Yes. Why? Because A plus B, 0 plus 2 is even. 0 plus 3 is not even. So 0 plus 2 will not be connected. 1 plus 2 will also not be connected, but 1 plus 3 will be connected, right? So 1 plus 3 will be connected. 2 plus 3 will not be connected. Is this only connection possible or more connections? That's the question. Is this the only connection? 3 and 1 will be connected. Yes, correct. Any more connection? More connections. What are the more connections? Self loops, yes. Because 0 plus 0 is also even. 3 plus 3 is also 6 is even. 2 plus 2 is also 4 is even. 1 plus 1 is also even. 2, that is also even. So everything will be connected like this. And for this particular small example, it looks like this every conditions of like the transitivity and symmetricity and as well as reflexive seems to be true, but this is not enough because this is just a small part of that gigantic graph we are talking about, right? So that means that's just to understand the concept, but we need to formally prove it. How do you formally prove it? The first thing is reflexive. So for reflexive, what are we going to prove? A is related to A. For that, we need to prove that A plus A is even. Right? A is related to A. That means we need to prove that A plus A is even. If we prove that A plus A is even, then we are done. And A plus A is even anyway because 2A is even. Right? A plus A is 2A. So A plus A is like 2 times any number, any integer. That is always by the definition even. So if A plus A is even, that means A is related to B. Another thing is we need to prove is A plus B. If A plus B is even, that implies B plus A is also even. Very trivial, right? If A plus B is even, that means B plus A is even. So if A is related to B, then B is also related to A. Right? We have proved symmetricity. And the third one is slightly tricky, but not very hard. Transitivity. What are we saying? We are saying that A plus B is even, B plus C is even, and we need to prove that A plus C is also even. Right? So how do we prove it? Since A plus B is even, let's call it A plus B equal to 2m. Right? We can, for any integer m, we can write it A plus B equal to 2m. For any other integer, there exists some integer like definitely which can be written like that because A plus B and B plus C are even, so I can write like this. Right? So I can sum them up. So I can do A plus 2B plus C equal to 2m plus 2n. And that also means A plus C equal to 2m plus 2n plus 2c And that also means if you remove 2 outside, it is nothing but, maybe I can write here, 2 times m plus n plus c, right? M plus n plus c. So which means that the a plus c is also 2 times some number. M plus n plus c is some integer. So 2 times integer. So therefore a plus c is even. Therefore a is also connected to c via relationship R. And that hence proved, right? So we have proved all the 3 properties. We'll stop here, and we will be meeting tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Saturday, and we will be continuing our discussion on equivalence relations and some more examples and equivalence classes as well. Okay, see you tomorrow then. Okay, so there is afternoon as well. There is a tutorial. Okay, so that is 2 p.m. Where most likely the TAs will be taking, which is they will be discussing about quiz, and there that time we can also have these issues, whatever issues are there, we can discuss that, and the answers of the quiz will be discussed, and maybe some more concepts they can discuss. So if you do attend, so 2 p.m. that will be there, but TAs will announce if there is any change in timing. But class will be there as usual tomorrow. Okay.